Hello, my name is Dee. Welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome back if you have been here before. Today we are going to be doing a hopefully quick reading on what is coming up for the rest of 2022 in your career and your finances. Okay, so for pile 1, we will have, I'm not going to pronounce it right, but pre-night. Pile 2, we will have clear quartz. And pile 3 will be this beautiful piece of unakite. And with that said, let's jump right into it with this beautiful crystal that I cannot pronounce. It's literally my favorite crystal, pre-night, or I don't know. I'm not going to even try anymore. So let's get into it, pile 1. What is coming up within your career and your finances? Anything new? If there's anything new coming up, hopefully there is an increase to everybody's finances for the rest of 2022. But let's see what is coming up for you, pile 1. Okay, we're going to pull some oracle cards at the end. Hopefully the oracle cards can help, can help to see what it is that you might need to focus on. And as for the oracle cards, we are going to be using this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful deck called Rich and Spiritual by Evolving Goddess 444. You should check her out. She has a YouTube channel. She has an Instagram. Check out her Etsy. She has a ton of beautiful decks. Okay, and that is Evolving Goddess 444. I'm shouting her out. Hopefully I have a way of tagging her in the description, which I hear people say that they're capable of doing so. So I'm sure I can. I'm sure I will try to figure it out. Okay. So we start out with the King of Cups in reverse. That can, to me, indicate that you're maybe at this point that we are at the beginning of July, you are feeling quite miserable. You might feel a little bit stuck. Your job might be something that is not fulfilling for you at this point in time. There's little to no emotional fulfillment, let's say, from your current job. And to me, this can be highly indicative of this being a job. This isn't so much a career path, and if it was a career path for you once, now it just feels like a chore. Okay? Again, as I'm going off about little to no emotional fulfillment, 10 of Cups in reverse jumps out. But we will get to that in a second. First, we have the Hermit, and we have the Moon in reverse. What you need to do for yourself, especially throughout the rest of 2022, I will, of course, be pulling more cards, but you really need to begin to go within, and you need to figure out what it is that you want to be doing. Because whatever it is that you are doing right now is not it. It's not bringing you the emotional fulfillment that you thought it would. The Hermit is calling for you to go on this meditative and introspective journey. And I feel like that really is, as per the Moon in reverse, meant to bring you the clarity that you need. And it's also meant for you to begin to see that you have other options out there than whatever it is that you're doing right now. Because what you're doing right now is not adding to your life. There's a lack of work-life balance. You feel quite miserable. You feel quite depressed. You feel quite stuck. You're not stuck. But what you do need to do is you need to begin to look within and like, for lack of a better way of putting it, you need to begin to look within and figure it out. You need to begin to, and that would indicate also if there's a lack of work-life balance, you might find it difficult to spend some time to yourself, for yourself, by yourself. But I am urging you, the messages that I am getting, like, from your guides, they're urging you to really, fully, truly sit with yourself and begin to determine what it is that you want to move forward toward. Because when you move forward, you want to move forward with a plan. You don't want to just be, you just don't want to be moving forward towards something that's going to be equally as unfulfilling. And the 10 of Cups in reverse to me brought forth this very strong message, and perhaps it won't resonate for everyone, but it's something that definitely is coming through here for some of you as well, maybe even most of you, that you might be clinging on to whatever this thing is because you don't want to admit to defeat. So this could be even like a business venture that you tried to go on this. Could very well be a career path that just is not it. You're not happy here. You're not happy doing this line of work. Okay, so whether it's a shitty workplace or you're beginning to realize that this was a shitty career path to go on, you're scared to say that you failed. You're scared that this is just going to be a failure. You're feeling this lack of accomplishment. You might have very well like gone to school to do whatever it is that you're doing. You might be like fresh out of school and now you're realizing you don't want to do what you went to school for even. But you're feeling this sense of like a lack of accomplishment, a lack of fulfillment, and you're feeling like a failure. And this is all the more reason to begin to go within and figure it out. Because you beating yourself up isn't doing any good for anybody. Okay, you making yourself feel worse. Whatever this thing is, like let's say you did go to school. That wasn't a waste of time. You got an education. You learned things that you would have never been able to learn unless you did what you did. Okay? There's a need to not look at this as such an issue or such a failure because you accomplished something. You set out to do what it was that you wanted to do. Okay, and you thought that it would bring you the emotional fulfillment. You thought that it would bring you the emotional abundance and the financial abundance, but it's not giving that, and that's totally okay. Okay, this is more so of a lesson than it is an issue. Okay, this is more so of a lesson than it is a setback. And you're being urged to, with the Ten of Wands in reverse, I feel like you're being urged to release whatever this is, like whatever it is that you're currently doing. Okay, you're being urged to see that you're not as stuck as you feel, that you moving forward into something else is not going to be even as like, let's say, burdensome as you feel like it's going to be. I feel like a lot of that burden is coming from the emotions that you are feeling or the like things that you are telling yourself. Like you're telling yourself all of these horrible things and that needs to stop. Okay, and so basically the way that this is going out is that throughout the rest of 2022, the final two cards to jump out were Justice and the Magician. I'm going to try to pull for one more card before I summarize like what we have here. First things first, you feel stuck, you feel miserable, you do not like this current job, whether it's this current workplace or your current career as a whole. You don't like it. You don't like it, and instead of just being like, hey, this situation didn't work out, you're beating yourself up about it, and you're being, very, very nasty and how do you say it, like uncompassionate. You're not being compassionate toward yourself. You're not being understanding toward yourself. You would never, ever, ever say this out loud to a friend or a family member that was struggling in their career. The type of shit that you've been saying to yourself. You're not a failure because this didn't work out. You're not a loser because you want to move on and move on to something different. And right now, for some of you, there might be a lack of direction, and that's why you're being urged to go within and to figure it out. For others, what you're being urged to go within and figure it out is just to clearly see that whatever this was, it just didn't work out, baby. That's it. It didn't work out. And now it's time for you to move forward into something different, into something that is going to feel much more emotionally abundant and fulfilling, something that is going to be much more financially fulfilling for you as well. Because this is not working out does not mean, it also doesn't even mean that you're starting from square one. You just need to go back within, check in with yourself, recognize that this situation in your work life not working out is not your end all be all, that you have all of these other options, and that's really what you need clarity regarding. You need to find this clarity regarding what it is that you can move forward toward, what it is that you want to move forward toward, and you really need to go within and like recognize your own potential again. Okay, I do feel like toward the end of 2022, if not sooner, you are going to leave whatever this current work is that you're doing. Okay, so whether this is a workplace, or a career path, it does seem as though you're making forward movement toward, moving on to something else. Okay, something with the Justice card, something that while you found this clarity that you're looking for, you're moving forward towards something that is more authentic and more honest to who you are as a person. Okay? You're moving forward because you are beginning to recognize your own potential, and you're also beginning to utilize the own personal power that you have over your own life. Okay, you're beginning to recognize that you're not as stuck as you felt perhaps right now as you're watching this video. Okay, so overall, you're stuck, you hate this job, you need to begin to focus on the meditative work and the introspective work to allow for you to find that clarity you need to recognize that you're not a piece of shit for not wanting to do this shitty job any longer, and that it is time to put an end to this cycle. It's time for you to move on, okay? And you moving on is you being authentic to yourself. It's also you utilizing your potential, your capabilities, and your own power over the situation. And I feel like that is a journey within itself for you right now. You know, maybe perhaps stepping into your power, stepping into your authenticity is a process or a cycle, let's say. It's a process that you have been moving forward toward. And we end with the world. The world to me is indicative of, first of all, a cycle ending so a new cycle can begin, which again leads me to the way that this has all fallen out. The next couple of weeks might be rough. The next couple of weeks you might feel more uncomfortable with where it is you're currently at. You might hate it more than you currently do. You might feel more unfulfilled than ever before. But that is all an urge for you to begin to look within. And for some of you, this is another thing that keeps coming up in personal readings and collective readings, and of course in readings I have been doing for myself, that sometimes when you are comfortable or too comfortable, the universe likes to push you out of your comfort zone. So for some of you, this could be a job or a workplace that you have been at for a very, very long time, and now it doesn't feel quite so comfortable anymore. Now you keep getting these pushes, these urges to leave because it's not working. It's not working out. There's no fulfillment. You don't want to do it anymore. Whatever the case may be, however it resonates to you. So the next couple of weeks, I would say, it's going to get to be feeling a lot more uncomfortable. There's going to be this lack of fulfillment that you just can't get out of. And I do feel like it's going to affect your mental and emotional health. You know, I do feel like you are going to feel quite miserable, quite just upset, disgusted even. Like, especially if it's a hostile work environment, I just get this like, ugh, like disgust type of feeling that you have having to go to work every day. Which, I mean, like, also that might be very normal. For some of us, is just have that disgust feeling that today's another work day. The inner work is perhaps the most important piece of this whole puzzle, because the inner work is going to be what allows for you to see that you don't have to remain stuck in this cycle any longer. That you can put an end to this cycle and begin a new one. Begin a new one that is more authentic to who you truly are. Begin a new cycle that is utilizing your potential, utilizing what it is that you know you're capable of, utilizing also your innate gifts and your innate talents and abilities. And again, closing this cycle out so that you can begin a new cycle that is going to feel much more abundant, much more successful, and much more fulfilling for you. Okay, so all in all, I would say by the end of 2022, I just cycled myself there. But at the end of 2022, you're either going to be at a new workplace or you are going to be well in the process you're going to be well, I want to make sure I didn't drop a card. Okay. You are going to be well, now I can't talk. You are going to be well on your way toward getting a new job by the end of 2022. Okay? Before I start the cycle again. You're going to be at, again, I honestly feel like for most of you watching this, you are going to be in a completely new job. Especially if you decide to focus on that inner work that needs to happen so you can break free from this place that is no longer serving you, from this job that is no longer serving you, from even perhaps this comfort zone or what has been a comfort zone for you that is no longer serving you. Okay? So by the end of 2022, and not only that, but what I've been trying to say is your finances are going to greatly improve as you begin to move forward toward whatever this thing is that is more, now I can't pick up the cards, more so authentic to yourself and utilizes your innate skills and abilities. Trying to get one more of these beautiful cards. Look at this. Absolutely, I love this deck. Evolving Goddess 444. Okay, we have releasing money blocks. And this is going to be some of the self-healing work that you need to do. Okay? Allow money to flow to you. Money is infinite. Believe there are many opportunities. Affirm you are worthy of abundance. Take action. Release irresponsible patterns. Okay? I'm going to hold that up toward the camera. I'm sure there's a glare. Hopefully there isn't. But all of those things are things that you need to be doing for yourself, especially when it comes to that self-healing aspect of this reading. Okay? Know that also when it comes to this is a huge abundance mindset task at the same time. Okay? You not looking at yourself as a loser. You not looking at yourself as a failure. You looking at this as more so of a lesson versus a complete fuck up is something that is so incredibly important here. And I'm only using those words because of the messages that are coming through from the Ten of Cups in reverse of how nasty you are being toward yourself. Okay, to know that, there's more than enough of everything. There's more than enough of the job that you're looking for. There's more than enough money that can come into your pocket. Okay? And my favorite part of this card, because I'm biased, is the affirm that you are worthy of abundance. And that's perhaps something that is taking place right here. You might not feel worthy of getting another job or of improving your finances. You yourself might feel worthless or hopeless, or like the Ten of Cups keeps indicating, like a loser or a failure or this or that, whatever shitty things you're telling yourself. And it's necessary for you to know that you are worthy of the abundance that you want to attract into your life. Okay, that's integral to you moving forward within your career, within improving your finances. Okay, we have reward and treat yourself. Okay, take care of yourself. That is so incredibly important. Being followed up by self-care. Okay, another thing with reward and treat yourself. I feel like that's another aspect of even releasing money blocks. Okay, the releasing money blocks does say release any irresponsible patterns, but there's also a need for you to recognize that, especially if you have been irresponsible with money in the past, that does not mean you are not worthy of anything new, of anything special. That does not mean that you are not worthy of treating yourself every once in a while. Okay? The self-care card, again, take care of yourself. Okay, this brings up massages, fitness, regimens, and routines, like a meditation routine, like a self-care routine, relaxation, self-image, health, sleep, and be gentle with yourself. Okay? Be gentle with yourself. No more talking to yourself like the Ten of Cups in reverse has been bringing forth during this reading. Okay? I will be very, very, very upset if any of you are talking to yourselves and talking about yourself in this way. Okay? That is something that needs to be nipped in the bud immediately. And then we have quality of life as the final card. Exclusive, elite, quality over quantity, exceptional service and products. And to be honest, I feel like with that quality of life card, this is what you are moving forward toward. You are moving forward toward this. Oops, before I drop all of them. You are moving forward toward this lifestyle for yourself that is infinitely better than the one that you currently have. And that sounds really crappy, but what I more so mean by it is mindset wise. You're moving yourself out of this really crappy, cruddy, stuck, angry, upset, depressed, lack mindset, and you're moving yourself forward into a more so abundance mindset. Okay, you're beginning to, especially with all of this self-healing work, you are beginning to align or come back into alignment. You are beginning to align yourself with what it is you are passionate about and what it is that you desire. Okay, and you're moving yourself out of this crappy lack mindset, and you're moving yourself forward into this abundance mindset where you are able and capable of having a, you know, amazing quality of life, where you are able and capable of having this quality lifestyle that you've been trying to cultivate for yourself. But you can't cultivate abundance, and you can't cultivate beauty, and you can't cultivate this, you know, like lovely, exceptional lifestyle for yourself if your mindset is in the shitter. Okay? And with that, that might be where we end this. Okay? There's a lot of self-healing work that needs to continue to be worked on. Even at the bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Pentacles, total lack mindset. But anyway, there's a lot of lack taking place right now, pile one. There's a lot of stuckness. There's a lot of stagnancy that you might be feeling. There's a lot of self-healing work. There was some guidance and advice to come through that needs to be focused on, because once you begin to get yourself out of this place of lack and this place of misery and this place of feeling like a failure and so on and so forth, you are destined for greatness. Like, you are destined for abundance. But there needs to be a mindset shift that takes place. And that mindset shift that's taking place does seem like something you are very willing to work forward toward. And as long as you are willing to work forward towards something, as long as you are willing to, you know, work toward bettering yourself, the universe is, you know, willing to better you as well, if that makes sense. Okay, so thank you so much, pile one, for allowing me to read for you today. I hope that that made sense. I hope that I was able to bring you some clarity and some insight. I can't wait to hear back once you have a new job in December and you are very, very happy and moving on and moving upward at that job. So thank you so much, pile one. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Hello, pile two. So now we are going to get into your career and your finances throughout the rest of 2022. Hopefully we are seeing some increases in your finances. Pile one took a curvy road to get there, but they got there, so hopefully this continues onward. I'm hoping for all of these piles to indicate an increase in our finances toward the end of 2022. What are you? Okay, we start out with the Hierophant. Oh, and before I move on, I just want to point out that we are going to be pulling tarot cards at first, of course, and then we are going to be moving forward to these oracle cards, Rich and Spiritual. They are a deck by Evolving Goddess 444. Follow her on here, follow her on Instagram, check out her Etsy where she has this deck and so many other beautiful decks to choose from. Oh my goodness. Ooh, pile two. You guys are like big CEOs, or maybe you're trying to get into that CEO energy. Okay, because we have the Hierophant, we have the King of Pentacles, we have the Devil, we have the Five of Cups in reverse. Okay, all of these cards, even the Devil and the Hierophant together, I specifically look at as like, first of all, you can't beat anybody. The King of Pentacles is the King of Coin. But these are two cards that I like describe as like big boss energy, that these are two cards that indicate CEO energy, which brings me to that if you have been up for some type of a promotion or a raise at your current workplace, especially if your current workplace is like very corporate, very 9 to 5, even retail, or banking, where there's money involved, accountant, something like that, wherever. If there's money involved, if there's sales involved, CEO, like corporate type of positions, especially, honestly, and this might be a very select few, but if you've been trying to apply for or thinking, let's say you do work in retail, if you have been thinking about applying for some type of corporate position and not quite sure if you're going to get it, this is your green light, baby, to move forward, to move forward with your plans, because that is coming in for you. This is an increase in finances, but also an increase in the level that you are at whatever company you work for. This could also very well be a strong indication of you making forward movement toward being self-employed and being your own boss. So if you have been looking to release any fear that you might have, if you've been looking to release even any stuckness that you might feel because you are in like a retail job or you're in this corporate 9 to 5 type of position and you've been wanting to move forward from that and focus on your own business, you're being urged to release it. But either way, the main gist of this is you're being urged to release your fears surrounding what it is that you are capable of. You're being urged to release any anxiety that you might have when it comes to advancing yourself in your career, because the one thing I keep hearing here is like, if you apply for it, you're gonna get it. Okay, and this could even be indicating like if you are unemployed right now, if you apply, you are going to get a job. Okay, but either way, a very like that's a strong message that's coming through, but even stronger, it keeps being this like this more so corporate-y type of job. And I just keep getting this mental image like if you work in retail, or even if you work in an office but you're like a staff member, that if you continue to apply yourself and you like literally apply for a position that's going to advance you within the company, you are going to get it. And for some reason, one thing that keeps coming through is this like more so, let's say retail or even like a sales position at a company. If you apply for a corporate position within that company, the odds are in your favor toward getting it, because what I'm picking up on here especially is A, self-employed, and B, you being a bigger boss in your company than you currently are right now. Okay? Either you being your own boss, and of course then there's nobody above you, or you being like a store manager, or you being a district manager, or you like moving up within an office and now you're the office manager, and so on and so forth. But you are moving onward and upward. You are getting obviously a lot more money here within the next couple of months. And I also just feel this very like strong message, which is why this probably won't be the last time you hear me say it. If you have been wanting something, apply for it. Okay, and of course within reason. Take it as it resonates. If it doesn't resonate with you, then the message is not meant for you. But if you've been teetering back and forth, like you've been doubting yourself, or you've been anxious about applying for whatever job because it might mean more responsibility and more of this and more of that, do it, because it's going to be so financially fruitful for you. And I also feel like it's going to position you better in life. So of course that could mean like a higher tax bracket. I also feel like it just means in general, the experience that you're going to obtain from it is going to help you continue to advance within your career. Okay, so I hope that made sense. I'm going to just try to pull some more cards, because to me, the one thing that I just keep getting from this is like, release your self-doubt, move forward, and it's time to fucking go for it. I was gonna say, release yourself down and go for it. And then we have the Four of Cups in reverse. Take the chance. Take the leap of faith. Take the chance. Push yourself to do this. Okay? You're motivated, but there's still this like inkling of doubt or fear or anxiety that's standing in your way. There might still be this like feeling of stuckness, even, and I know that's could be self-doubt. Like you could be saying like I'm not sure if I qualify, or I'm not sure if they'll take me, type of thing. Even could be a little bit of a like, I'm not sure if I'm capable of doing that job. And of course, as I started to say before, within reason. Like obviously, if you are a computer programmer, you can't just walk into a doctor's office and become a surgeon next week. But within reason as it pertains to whatever it is that you're doing right now. A lot of what is holding you back or causing for you to feel stuck is self-doubt, is fear, is anxiety. You're being urged to do the meditative work, release the self-doubt, so on and so forth, and to fucking go for it with that Four of Cups in reverse. Okay, there's no more missed opportunities. That should be like your mantra for the next couple of weeks and months. No more missed opportunities. What card? Oh my goodness. He fell. But the Knight of Pentacles. No, Knight of Cups, rather. The Knight of Cups. Not only is what you're moving forward toward what you are moving forward toward actually is going to give you so much more freedom than you currently have. Again, you're going to be in a higher position of power or self-employed. So you're going to have a lot more creative freedom. I also feel like you're going to have let's say like a larger platform or a larger ability to be able to share your own opinions, to share what you think should be going on, to share what direction you think the company should be going in, and so on and so forth. Again, big boss energy by the end of 2022. And I also feel like this is upcoming. This is upcoming. Like, you have to work through the fear and the regret, like the fear, maybe even some regret actually, because I didn't say that word on accident. It just came out of my mouth. So it was an accident, but I don't think it was an accident. Release any past regrets that you might have of not taking up opportunities. Release any fear and doubt that kind of regret has seeped into you, and continue to move forward. Okay, what you're mainly being urged to do is to release any fear, any regret, any self-doubt, and to really move forward when it comes to this. And Five of Pentacles in reverse. Again, even with that, releasing the lack mindset, releasing self-doubt. Also, to know that you are worthy of what it is that you are seeking. To focus on your self-worth as well. To know that you are capable of doing so. Okay, we have the Seven of Cups. Again, I feel like this is indicating how many more opportunities and possibilities this is going to open up for you. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles, this is new financial avenues. So again, more opportunities within like the company that you're at, more opportunities or more clients if you're like self-employed or like self-owned business. But this Ace of Pentacles is indicating a new job. It's indicating more money coming in. New, basically like new financial, I don't know how to describe it. But like you bringing in more finances because you have moved on to something new. Okay? So all in all, you're being urged to fucking go for it. Okay? Whatever it is. Okay, pile two. So this Ace of Pentacles is really indicating that you are going to be moving forward toward new finances coming into your life, toward possibly even a new career path for some of you. Because like, let's say if that retail to corporate message is resonating for more than just one person, and I feel like it might resonate for more than just one person because of how strongly it's coming through, that you are obviously going to be opening up new financial avenues for yourself because it's a line of work that you might not have typically been in the past. Ooh. Okay, we will keep that one. I was just about to say, I think I might have to pull the cards because I'm not sure how many of them I can get to jump out nicely. And again, let me plug this deck, Rich and Spiritual by Evolving Goddess 444. You can find her on YouTube. You can find her on Instagram. I keep forgetting to say, you can find her on TikTok. But you can especially find her on Etsy, where she sells all this deck and all of her other beautiful decks. Okay, so the first card to jump out is, and these are just meant as like additional messages or places for you to focus your energy on to attract this and to continue forward on this path that's coming through here. Okay, we have the self-care card. Self-care is speaking of regimens and routines, relaxation, taking care of yourself, being gentle with yourself, making sure you're getting enough sleep, focusing on your health, your wellness, etc. We then have the spirituality card. The secret sauce is filling your spirit with soul. The secret sauce is filling your spirit with soulful experiences. Do that and you will start seeing everything you want manifest in your physical reality. Purpose, giving back, divinity, higher power. I find it very interesting because the last card to jump out is purpose. And purpose is your niche, inspire and motivate others, adding value to the world, targeted audience. And I feel like all in all, this process here, especially the process of self-healing, is helping for you to align with something that is much more purposeful to you and something that you can make much more, let's say, of a difference at when you move forward toward this higher level position at this company. Okay, when you move forward even toward being self-employed, let's say, that you're being truer to yourself, that you are adding value to the world. You're perhaps, especially if this is resonating for anyone, and I'm sorry I keep harping on it, but if this is resonating for anyone when it comes to that, retail to corporate or office staff to office manager, you can make such a difference in your life, of course, with financially furthering yourself in your career, advancing yourself within your career, opening up other opportunities within your career, but you can also make such a difference in the lives of others, in the lives of the people, like let's say, this is big boss energy, the people that you are a boss of, since you at one point were that, you can truly begin to add value and to make a difference into their worlds as well. Because you know what it feels like, you know what the expectations are, and you can make a difference for them to where maybe they don't feel so alone, or they don't just feel like they're getting bossed around or pushed around. Okay? And of course, while maintaining healthy professional boundaries, but at the same time, you are doing something that's more in alignment with what it is that you're meant to be doing, which is, being your own boss. And even perhaps in this corporate sense, you would more so be your own boss. But also in the value that you're adding to other people's lives. Whether that's because you can understand the people that are working for you more than perhaps some other person could, or you are adding value to the world because of what it is that you're creating via your self-employed business, if that makes sense. And then we have financially savvy. Budgeting, credit, savings and investing, smart financial decisions, financial awareness, and education. I honestly feel like this is perhaps one of the most important cards to come through here today for you, pile 2, because what I feel like this is hinting at is, if you do get into this position where you are making significantly more than you have been, you might feel an urge, especially if you are still operating from a lack mindset, you might feel this urge to spend significantly more than you normally would. And you're being urged to stay mindful of that. You're being urged to, be financially responsible. You're being urged to make yourself aware, make yourself educated, to make smart financial decisions going forward. Because whatever this is that you are attracting into your life, whether you are, getting a major promotion, whether you are moving forward toward your own self-owned business, you are generating, and especially with that Ace of Pentacles finishing up the tarot portion of this reading, you are generating a lot more funds, let's say, than you are used to. And it's imperative that you are, you're aware and you know what to do with it, that you know how to save, and that you are financially responsible moving forward. So thank you so much, pile 2, for allowing me to read for you today. I hope that this resonated with you in some way. I hope that if you are debating with yourself about whether or not to go for a promotion, you feel that urge to actually go for it, to fucking go for it, please. Because you are going to get it, and it is going to really set you up toward prosperity. So thank you so much, pile 2. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Hello, pile 3, my Unikite pile. So today we are looking at what is coming up for your career and your finances throughout the rest of 2022. We had advancement in both pile 1 and pile 2. I am hoping that we can keep this moving. As always, please take what resonates and leave the rest, okay? If it does not resonate with you, then it is not meant for you. So let's see what is coming up in regard to your career and your finances. And before I move forward toward pulling the tarot cards, we are also at the end of this reading going to be using this oracle deck called Rich and Spiritual. It is made by Evolving Goddess 444. Okay, you can find her on here. You can find her on Etsy, which is the most important, TikTok and Instagram, but I want to focus on her Etsy because her Etsy is where you can find that beautiful deck and the rest of her beautiful decks. Okay, that is Evolving Goddess 444. And now let's see what is coming up in your career. Pile 3. Okay, we are starting out with the Three of Swords in reverse and the Nine of Swords. Overall, I feel like this is indicating a very, very stuck feeling. I do not feel like you might be the pile that ends up really struggling to move forward within your career in these next, what do we have left, 5 months of the year. Three of Swords in reverse and the Nine of Swords would indicate to me that you feel very stuck, but you also feel very hopeless. There might be a lot of fear and anxiety that you have in moving forward toward a new job or a new career path. I also feel like financially, you might have debts accumulated that make it very difficult for you to make any changes to your career. The Nine of Swords also, it just keeps bringing me this almost this I want to say feeling of desperation. Like you're extremely anxious right now when it comes to your finances, perhaps. You might also be anxious when it comes to your career in general. And on a very general level, you might be extremely anxious of applying for new jobs, of having to interview for new jobs. And that might be something that makes you or makes you feel more stuck, because you don't feel like you are, with the Six of Wands in reverse, there's this lack of worthiness that is taking place here. And that lack of worthiness is pinpointing depression. I also feel like there's a lot of anxiety going on here. Just a lot of stuck energy, a lot of not knowing how to, I keep hearing not knowing how to get out of this whole energy. And overall, with the High Priestess in reverse, it feels like to me there's a lot of things that you want to do, but there's not a lot of action toward them. There's a lack of work-life balance right now that makes it very difficult for you to make forward movement toward anything else. And overall, I just feel like there's mental and emotional imbalances at play here too, such as depression and anxiety. Okay, pile 3. Okay, those two cards are going back. The rest of them. Okay, so the Seven of Pentacles in reverse with the Sun in reverse. It's almost like you're not allowing yourself to see your true potential. Okay, the Star is indicative of needing to have hope, needing to find that silver lining, needing to also focus on your own healing, focus on creativity. To me, this is more so, overall, it just brings with it this message of, it's very difficult, and this came through for pile 1 as well. It's very difficult for you to have hope. It's very difficult for you to make forward movement. It's very difficult for you to see that there's a light at the end of this tunnel, whether it's speaking to your career or your finances. Very hard to see any positivity and joy and hope if your mindset is completely in the shitter. And right now, what's coming through here is that your mindset, your mentally and emotionally, especially when it's pertaining to money, is completely in the shitter. You really need to focus on what is going on mentally and emotionally. You need to begin to focus on releasing money blocks. You need to begin to focus on cultivating an abundance mindset, even cultivating a more so positive mindset, because it's very difficult for you to make positive movement forward if you are just stuck in this place of lack, in this place where you doubt your own potential, in this place where you feel like you don't have any potential. And there's a need for you to reignite some of that hope, some of the hope, some of the, what would be the word? I'll just go with hope for now, but there's a need to regain some of that hope that one can have within themselves. Because right now there is like so much doubt, there's so much self-doubt taking place that it's very difficult for you to see that you're not as hopeless as you feel. You know? The Four of Cups jumped out next. The Four of Cups is speaking to meditation, my big six that I always recommend. Meditation, introspection, therapy, Reiki, self-love, and self-care. Okay, it's absolutely necessary at this point in time. If I were you, in fact, I would not even worry about these next 5 months moving forward or advancing yourself within your career. I would not place too much worry or too much panic, too much upset, let's say, into needing to increase your finances. What's more important right now is working on what's going on mentally and emotionally, because if you are feeling like absolute shit mentally and emotionally, it's going to be very difficult for you to find something that's fulfilling for you, something that's financially fruitful for you, and something that's going to allow for you to, get out of debt, or something that's going to allow for you to have a better quality of life, or something that's going to allow for you to advance yourself within your career even. So the mental and emotional aspect of this needs to be worked on ASAP. Now let's see. Okay, we have the Judgment card. To me, the one thing that keeps coming through with the Judgment card is this, you need to decide this for yourself. You basically at this point might be, and I'm sorry if this comes out, harsh or hurtful. I'm not meaning for it to come out harsh or hurtful. I'm only giving out what I'm getting back as honestly and as accurately as I can. And again, if it does not resonate with you, it is not meant for you. Don't come at me in the comments. But this Judgment card is basically you need to decide for yourself what it is that you want. Do you want to continue to live in this hopelessness and this despair, or do you want to feel better? Do you want to get better? Do you want to do better? Do you want to live better? And right now, your mindset, there's such an imbalance, or there's this lack of alignment. You're perhaps feeling very unaligned, perhaps feeling very ungrounded, and all of that needs to be worked on first, and it needs to be worked on quickly. Okay? And again, I'm going to pull one more card before I move forward to the Oracle deck, but there's this line in this show that I always go back to. I talk about it on Instagram probably once or twice a year because of how much it means to me. But there's this show called The Leftovers that I'm obsessed with, and there's this one character in the first season that constantly asks the question, do you want to feel this way? And for most of us, no. We don't want to feel hopeless. We don't want to feel despair. We don't want to feel like we're going nowhere. We don't want to feel like we're some schmuck that got themselves in debt, and so on and so forth. And that's what the Judgment card is bringing forth to me, is a mental image of that show. And because the Judgment card first and foremost brought with it that message of you need to decide for yourself if this is what you truly want. And in that regard, it's, you need to decide for yourself if this is how you want to continue to live, if this is how you want to continue to feel. The answer is fuck no. You don't want to fucking feel this way. Nobody does. And that needs to be addressed quickly with the Eight of Wands. Because once this is addressed, things will quickly begin to move forward for you when it comes to your career and your finances. Okay? And honestly, which I can't believe I'm sharing this, on a personal anecdote, I relate to this reading a lot as of a couple years ago, and then again as of a couple months ago. But even a couple of years ago, I was mindset totally in the shitter. But I didn't want to feel that way anymore. And I needed to make moves within my career because things were very stagnant. Debts were piling up. I wasn't going anywhere, and I wasn't going anywhere fast. And I went to therapy. I had always meditated, but I started making it more of a routine. I made self-care a routine. I made meditation a routine. I went to therapy, and so on and so forth. And that's basically like just a lot of, I guess, like how I feel this on a personal level is starting to come through, which I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. But for me, what I know is like the first thing that I needed to change was my mindset. And once I made the decision that I did not want to feel this way anymore, things started to rapidly improve within my life. I started to get more into tarot. I then started the tarot business, and so on and so forth. And I feel like that's part of what is coming through here, or it's reminding me of like a personal part of my journey of when I was at a really low point in my life. I like had to make the decision that I wanted to feel better. I did make the decision that I wanted to feel better, I wanted to do better, I wanted to move forward. And then once I made that decision, and once I helped myself, and I went to therapy and got the help that I needed. I made Reiki appointments, which is why I'm so big on Reiki too. Did Reiki, did therapy, focused on self-care and self-love and so on and so forth. All the things that I recommend. And things started to begin to gain momentum for me. Things started to fall into place for me. And I'm sorry for sharing personal aspects of this, or personal aspects of my life, but I feel like that's what's going on here now, and it feels eerily similar to a situation I myself was in, which is the only reason why I talk about myself. Well, not the only reason, but one of the reasons why I'll bring myself up when I do a reading. But the Eight of Wands is bringing me to that too, just the like momentum that things started to have. And that's what's coming through here too, that once you pull yourself out of the way that you are currently feeling, things are going to start to pick up within your career, and in regard to your career, in regard to your finances. Okay? And we have Two of Pentacles, and we have the Death card. And again, to me, this, even the Eight of Wands leading us into the Two of Pentacles, things picking up, things gaining momentum, you obtaining more opportunities, you perhaps being even, let's say, busier within your career, you finding new ways and different ways because you're beginning to recognize your potential, you're beginning to release any self-doubt, you're not holding yourself back anymore, you're going after opportunities. And that's all starting with this Death card, of you making this choice to go on this personal transformation, on this spiritual transformation, let's say, as well. Okay? So basically, things are going to be rough for the next couple of months. What you're urged to do primarily is to make the decision to begin to, cultivate a more positive mindset. Even cultivate hope, cultivate abundance within your life. Begin to help yourself and get any help that you need as it pertains to you bettering your mental and emotional health. Because once you begin to better your mental and emotional health, things are going to begin to move directly in the direction that you want them to. And it all started with you making the decision to grow on a personal and spiritual level. It all stems from you making the decision to basically kill off this cycle that is like mentally and emotionally torturing you, and you deciding that you want something more, something better for yourself. Okay, so now we are going to move forward to the Oracle cards. Again, the Rich and Spiritual deck by Evolving Goddess 444. You can find her on here, on Instagram, on TikTok, but most importantly, you can find her on her Etsy page, Evolving Goddess 444, where she sells this deck and many other beautiful decks. And I might have to pull, I'm going to pull you. We have self-care. Okay, self-care, massages, fitness, regimens, and routines, self-care routine, meditation routine, so important. And even other routines, like if you do decide that you want to go to therapy, if you do decide that you want like a Reiki appointment, if you do decide that, like even massages, let's say, or going to the gym, you need to start creating routines for yourself that add and benefit benefit you and your well-being, your mental and emotional health, as well as your physical health. Okay, you really have to begin to take care of and to be gentle with yourself, but you need to begin to take care of yourself, mind, body, and soul. Grab you, quality of life. Okay, and I feel like the most important, like with this in general, I'm gonna actually ignore what's written on the card for the time being, to just point out the quality of life aspect of this is right now you might be at this very low point where you're not feeling like you have much of a quality of life when it comes to your mental and emotional health, and you are being urged to focus on improving your quality of life, especially from the mental and emotional aspect of it. And the next card that I pulled as I was saying that is receiving support and being supported. Reach out and ask the other people in your life for help, especially if you are struggling mentally and emotionally. Okay, and the final card that we are going to go over are goals and vision board. Okay, so this brings up planning, monthly, quarterly, and yearly journals, envisioning a new life, journaling, and manifestation. I feel like this is going to come after you focusing on yourself, focusing on meditation, introspection, therapy, Reiki, self-love, self-care, focusing on asking for help when you need help, asking for support when you need support, and not being afraid to do so. And I feel like that overall, everything is going to lead to you improving your quality of life, is going to improve your well-being, is going to improve your mental and emotional health, your physical health, and so on and so forth. And then that's when you can begin to plan out, to plot and plan basically what your next steps are toward and do so. Like you're going to, once you not once you figure it out, once you begin to focus on your own healing and the certain things that you've been wanting to go after start to gain momentum, that's when the real plotting and planning is going to begin. And I do feel like if you make that decision to begin to heal, if you make that decision to begin to focus on yourself and better yourself, and especially in regard to your mental and emotional health, once you make the decision to do so, things are going to start to gain momentum. And that's where toward the end of the year, you're going to be taking the steps you need and making progress toward the goals that you have within your career. And that's when you're going to see real positive movement forward. But for right now, positive movement forward in regard to just your career. But right now, the positive movement forward that you're being urged to make is in regard to what is going on with you mentally and emotionally. Okay, so I hope that made sense. That was kind of an intense reading, intense for me at least. We thank you so much, my Unakite pile, for joining me here. Thank you for allowing me to read for you today, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.